Harvard studies have shown household access to guns can drive up suicide rates. But another Harvard study on the New Hampshire Gun Shop Project revealed that retailers and firearm rights advocates who work with mental health pros can actually help prevent the pain of suicide. And now, that's the idea behind LifeSide Ohio. It's a new program launching tomorrow, and it's caught the attention of an Ohio mom. Do you think if LifeSide Ohio had existed 10 years ago, do you think Dre would still be here?
I don't know if it would have made a difference or not, but I do think we would have at least had more conversations with him about how he was feeling.
Denise Mina Graham noticed her son Dre, the boy who loved his pets, who reluctantly held her hand for a picture she treasures to this day.
He was a cute kid.
Had been having down moments toward the end of high school.
He wasn't acting like his usual joyful, happy-go-lucky self.
Dre knew where to get a gun.
He did know. Yeah, we've had guns in the family. Didn't think anything about it.
He used one to take his life. She remembers the day, August 8th of 2012.
But it was actually a police officer who told me when I asked where the ambulance was, and he says, "Ma'am, he's already passed." Just unreal words, not something you ever think you will be able to live through as a mom.
Grief gave way to her work with the Ohio Suicide Prevention Foundation, now launching something called LifeSide Ohio, a first-of-its-kind campaign in the state.
That will be focused on working with gun owners, gun shop owners, partnering with them on reducing suicides in the state of Ohio.
By having the conversation that more than half of all suicides are by firearms, by understanding proximity to guns can make that possible, and by talking about safety measures the way gun owners would.
We're working on these little cards that folks can hand out at gun shops. It said, "Lock up your weapons." Well, a gun owner doesn't say lock up your weapons because it implies, locking up is usually someone committing a crime. So instead, store your weapons away.
You're not looking to take people's guns away or to change the law, correct?
Absolutely not. We want nothing to do with the politics of this.
But everything to do with potentially helpful discussion. Why launch this in Cincinnati?
Well, Butler County has experienced a large number of suicides in the first 3 months of this year.
A snapshot of the issue in one county that's in on the LifeSide mission Dre's mom supports too.
We didn't really think a lot about it. That was just part of what we had in our home.
And is that what LifeSide does? It makes you think about it?
Just pause and think about who would potentially have access to it. What frame of mind are they in? And I think LifeSide Ohio is really going to help normalize the conversation in the firearms community.
In Dre's name and memory.
Yes, right? My boy.
I want to drill down a little more into the Butler County example where they're launching LifeSide tomorrow morning. Suicides increased by 167% there from January and February of 2021 to the same time frame in 2022. Cases jumped from 3 to 8 each month with firearms. The goal with LifeSide is to prevent that pain.